Remaining candidates in the runoff on May 27th. We've had some early voting here. Where's the pig stand? Do you know where the pig stand is?
Well, I know where all of them used to be. The one I used to hang out when I was in school was over across from Rainbow Bread on 11th Street, and then there was another one down there across the railroad tracks on Calder.
The people of the 36th Congressional District expect their leadership to know where these places are and to know this area. Do you know where Rayburn Country is?
Absolutely. I live in Tyler County, which is about 35 minutes from Rayburn Country.
Okay. All right. Well, give me a brief understanding here of your view of the budgetary issues which a lot of Southeast Texans are very concerned about. They see that we're at a $17 trillion debt. They see and they say, when will somebody support measures that will begin to turn the tide on that? What could you do in leadership, if elected, that would help with that debt?
Absolutely. The purse strings are controlled by the United States House of Representatives. That's what I would be a member of.
It's the appropriations body.
Absolutely. Yeah. And number one, we talked about it on a second ago, and that is we need to repeal Obamacare, the largest entitlement program in the history of this country. It's unsustainable. You couple that with Social Security, Medicare, and Medicaid, and Obamacare all together, it is totally unsustainable. We cannot survive that economically. But we've got waste, fraud, and abuse. Obamacare is the first thing we need to get rid of, but we need to reduce spending with real cuts, and that we need a balanced budget amendment to force the hand of the Congress to balance this budget. We need to start doing that immediately.
Would you support a realignment of some of our departments and agencies to cut waste, fraud, and abuse?
Yes, I would. There's no question about that.
There are tens of millions going out the door, and many of these agencies can't even say, and that really strikes at the heart of hardworking Southeast Texans who have to balance their own budgets.
That's right. You know, we have to balance our budget, or we go to jail. The federal government, in fact, municipalities, state governments, or at least most of the state governments, need to balance their budget. We should balance our budget. There is no excuse for $1 trillion plus deficits each year. And,
you have sometimes on the campaign trail talked about simplifying the tax code, but your opponent has been arguing that taxes is not an area that simplifying the tax code and providing relief is not something that you have wanted to do. He has argued that you want to increase taxes on Southeast Texans.
You know, that's the mark of a desperate candidate. That has been debunked. I ran for Congress almost 20 years ago. I ran on a simplification of our tax code, and I've been a lifelong, 35-year conservative Republican. I started working hard for Ronald Reagan in 1980 as his county chairman. I was appointed as county chairman.
You didn't increase taxes in two capacities in Tyler County, on the school board and as a city councilman?
No, that has been debunked by independent documents and officials from our own county. I don't even address that anymore because we cut taxes. End of story.
So you have argued 70% at
71% at the city, as a city councilman, as a mayor. I'm a tax cutter.
Southeast Texans have not supported immigration reforms in the past. Is there a way? Would you support if the speaker said, let's come up and get this bill passed through? Immigration reform is an issue that must be taken care of now during this next Congress, according to Speaker Boehner. Would you support widespread immigration reform?
I would have to look at it. I cannot say that I would support that because I am adamantly opposed to amnesty in any form whatsoever, and I am adamantly in favor of securing that border. As a former military man myself, as a father of a Navy SEAL son, if we can secure the borders of other nations, then we need to secure the border of this country. If Israel can build a fence and secure their border because their sovereignty and security depend on it, then the United States' sovereignty and security depends on us securing our border.
Would you go so far as a balanced budget amendment regarding budgetary issues?
There's no question. I think a balanced budget amendment is desperately needed in this country. We have a spending problem. We don't have a taxing problem. When you're spending over $1 trillion a year more than you're bringing in, and your national debt is over $17 trillion, you got a spending problem. And they're spending just completely out of control, and that's what we need to get under control.
We just have 30 seconds for this last broadcast, but I appreciate, I've pointed some hard questions at you, and I appreciate your time with it. The election May 27th.
That's right.
I understand it. And you were one of two candidates, Ben Strusan, the other candidate who spoke with us at this same time just about 2 weeks ago and had 12 minutes worth of time to take some of these same issues. So I appreciate your time.
I'm glad to be here, and go to my website, Dr. Brian Babinforcongress.com.
Okay.
Babinforcongress.com. That's it.
Thank you for your time, sir, and we'll see you back right here on Southeast Texas Weekly very soon to talk politics, and we'll get right into it. We'll squeeze in another full show in just a week. We'll see you then.
Southeast Texas Weekly, brought to you by the Modern Vein Surgery Institute at Privity Clinic for Surgical Care.